to town, and it was supposed to be epic matchup, a matchup of two playoff teams. Wait, no, not the White Sox. I'm so silly. What am I talking about? But the Astros took care of business. 13 runs, 10 runs in an inning, and one of the H-Town wheelhouse keys to victory was Alex Bregman and Yuli Gurriel needed to start doing something. Well, hey, they started to do something, and this was a epic beatdown. And we'll talk about this and more on this special edition of the Locked On Astros podcast that starts now.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Astros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram, at Astros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive. I'm positive I love kicking the White Sox tail in a baseball game. Always Stros.
Today's episode is brought to you by Sports Card Investor. Download the Sports Card Investor app today and easily browse over 630,000 cards from every sport with hundreds more added each week. Available for free in the Google Play and Apple app stores, or go to sportscardinvestor.com/locked on. And by the way, Brett did purchase the cards. I told you he was going to purchase the Immaculate Innings card. So he did do that. And
I'm a man of my word. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And if you know me, you know that I follow through. Yeah, I actually got an extra one for you, Eric. So when that gets in the mail here, we'll do that. Oh, hey, so tomorrow night I'm going to do another bonus episode. Okay, but listen,
okay.
I got for Father's Day a box of Topps Gypsy Queen cards, and we're going to call it Searching for Yordan. And I'm just going to open the packs on online. You can join me if you want, or you can watch. But I want to do this. I know last time we did it, I got some fun interaction out of it. And so join me tomorrow night. I have no idea what time it's going to be. It's just going to pop up. It'll give you about 30, 45 minutes, warning. And watch me open some cards and see if we can pull a Yordan Alvarez autograph card or something like that. Cool.
And guys, make sure if you want to hear about this, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. All you have to do is go search Locked On Astros. Just go and press that little red button. Give us a like while you're at it. And make sure you make us your first listen on your way to the beach tomorrow. I'm sure since it's Saturday, you're going to be going to the beach or whatever you're doing. Just make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Just check us out. So all the talk going into the series was how the Wilbon said that the White Sox are scared of the Astros, and especially after how they played the Astros last year in the regular season, and how they got handled in the playoffs last year. And you would think that they would come in and be like, you know what, we're not scared of the Astros. Watch what we can do. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little scared after they hit that 3-1, that they scored the 3 runs.
Well,
and I was like, go ahead.
Well, they've scored early this year in games and then had a team jump on them again, and they didn't really have a counterpunch. And we've seen that happen. We've seen the Astros put up 2 or 3 runs and then not answer after that, and then get beat 5-3, get beat 6-4, stuff like that. So that was a very real. I mean, momentum seemed to be early in the Astros' favor, but man, that ball just kept carrying. From our vantage point, it looked like it was dropping. I was like, nope, that ball's going to carry into the bullpen, and it did. It had enough carry.
Yeah, it looked like pretty much like a home run. You could tell by the way the outfielders are going out. I'm like, that's going to go in the bullpen. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want me to bash on the broadcast. I mean, I'm not going to really go a full bashing mode. I want to say a couple of things about it. The picture is great. I love all the stats at the bottom, how they have the probability of everything that's going on. And they had the best thing. They had the field sounds, and they literally didn't talk for a whole half inning. And they just had the sounds of the ballpark. And it really did sound like you're at the ballpark. So the rest of it, it was pretty interesting. That's all I'm going to say on this. But it was a definitely a game where the Astros got 12 hits. They had 4 walks. That they scored 13 runs. But the big thing is they scored 10 runs in the 6th inning. 10 runs. That's just something that this Astros team can't seem to do very often,
So
just because they can't string together a bunch of hits.
So I want to focus on Bregman's first at bat with the 2-run home run, which I think ultimately set the tone for the game, and he was one of my keys. When I said 3 keys to a series victory, one of those keys was that they put up multiple runs in the first several innings, that the pitchers go at least 6 innings, and that Yuli, Bregman, and the bottom 2 hitters in the lineup, the 8 and the 9 spot, contribute in some form or fashion, and they'll win the series. And tonight, Alex Bregman was interviewed. Now Jeff Bagwell is in the booth with Ford on the radio, and on the way back from the game, I heard Bagwell. They told Bregman, "Hey, great job squaring the ball up. You've been grinding, you've been working your tail end off, and how did it feel?" He said it felt great. He said I've been out there. He said I've been working. He said I know. Basically, you could tell that he's aware of the things that are being said about him right now.
Right.
And when Bagwell gave him a compliment, he kind of gave a nice team response. And Bagwell goes, Bregman, he goes, Breggy, let me tell you this. He goes, this team needs you. He goes, that's a nice team answer, but it had to feel good you hitting that home run, because let me tell you something, down the stretch, this team doesn't go anywhere without you. And this team really depends on you, and it's great to see you getting the feel for the bat out there. And I want you to know how much I think you need, how much you mean to this team. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. And that's what I love about Bagwell. A lot of people bash him because he's not like this ultra charismatic radio voice, but he's very real. He's very authentic. He cares for the team. And this is a Hall of Famer giving Bregman compliments. That's just phenomenal.
Who's bashing Bagwell? That's like the worst. Like
No, well,
he's a
I
Houston
see.
legend.
I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, I don't like Bagwell. He just has no chemistry." And oh, hey, get this. In the Authentic shop, if y'all go to a game, y'all needed to grab this. I actually grabbed a pair tonight. Eric, you need to get some. Jeff Bagwell unloaded. They are his gloves. He had hundreds of batting gloves that he either wore once or never wore, and they were issued to him, and they say Bagwell on them. I've got a pair of gloves, $20. One of them has the pad on the hand, and the other one has Bagwell on the finger, and they were there. So I grabbed me a pair. Last time I was like, I don't know, and then I talked to the Authentic shop guy. They were his batting gloves. He just had hundreds of them. He never used once. So that may be something that you want to grab.
That's Jason, the kid in the Crawford boxes. So hey, Jason.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
what's up, man? Hey, Jason. I just want to tell you this. Sorry I didn't get to meet you that day. I was over by home plate, but hopefully in the future, we'll be able to hook up and take a picture together. Whatever. Would love to talk baseball with you. So thanks for supporting the show, bud. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so the Astros scored 10 runs in the 6th inning. They had 14 batters go to the plate, and it was the most runs they've scored in innings since they did. They scored 11 runs against the Minnesota Twins on May 29th in 2017. They had 8 hits in that inning, 2 walks, 2 pitching changes, 1 hit by pitch, 1 grand slam, and they did not let go. They didn't take their foot off the brakes. They were just going all gas, and it was just crazy to just see everything that happened in that inning. And it was just like even on the broadcast, they're like, "Wow, I guess they're not letting up." And that
Oh,
Alvarez,
it was. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that Alvarez home run, it would have been a home run only in 3 ballparks in baseball, because it was only 348 feet, but it's still majestic. Gurriel's home run was 355 feet. Brantley's home run was 369 feet. Kyle Tucker's home run was 379 feet. And then Alex Bregman was the farthest of the night at 407. It had an exit velocity of 104 miles per hour off the bat. And it was just awesome to be able to bet on Alex Bregman again. That must be awesome experience. And let's talk about Bet Online.
Yeah, so BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, including live betting on esports and scores. The BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check all your favorite sports, MMA, boxing, golf, whatever it is. Head to the website today and use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
All right. So yeah, definitely, and make sure you go check out the the mock draft and just all the NBA draft. I'm sure go check out Locked On Rockets. They're
Go,
covering the
yeah,
draft and
go
everything.
check out
So
Locked On NBA. I mean, they're going to have a draft special next week, Eric, and it's going to
yeah.
include all the hosts. It's going to be a really cool special. We're going to watch it. But hey, I wanted to talk to you about this. Expected weighted on base average. Guess who
Hmm.
leads the league in xWOBA?
Who? Alvarez.
Yordan Alvarez,
Hmm.
491. Guess who's behind him?
And some guy with 99.
Yep, Aaron Judge. And then Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and Jock Peterson. This dude is hitting out of this world, hitting out, otherworldly performance this season. And I don't know if you caught wind of it, but you remember in Manuel Valdez, we talked about hit 3 home runs the night before.
Hmm.
Did you hear what he did today?
He hit another 3 home
He
runs or
hit
two,
2 home runs
2 home
tonight.
runs. Yeah.
He's hit 5 home runs in 2 days. Someone online called him Yordan Jr. I'm like, whoa, hold the phone on that. But I'm like, dude, this is the land of milk and honey when it comes to home runs lately.
Yeah. The minor leaguers are doing good. Pedro Leon's doing good. We already talked about what Forrest Whitley did. And there's just a lot of guys that are doing good, but there's just not a lot of room at the major league roster because this team, especially if Gurriel and Bregman start hitting, who cares about what Maldonado is doing? If those two guys start hitting, we don't really care. But Yuli went 3 for 3 today with a walk. No, sorry, he got hit by a pitch, right? But he reached
Mm-hmm.
base 4. No, he didn't get hit by a pitch, or did he? Yeah, he did. He got hit
I'm
by
not.
he got hit on the little the hand pad there. So he reached base 4 times, and then you had Bregman get reach base 4 times as well. And so that's a big key. Bregman scored 3 runs. Gurriel scored 2 runs, and everybody in the starting lineup except for Maldonado and Altuve got a hit.
Yeah,
So you scored 13 runs. Altuve was hitless. Go figure.
I know that is odd, isn't it? And Michael Brantley's up to 302 now. Yordan Alvarez is leading this team in pretty much every category. 316, a 1.040 OPS. I mean, what does this guy not do? And Yordan Alvarez didn't even strike out tonight. I mean, he had 2 walks and he had 2 hits. It's
And he threw a
just
94-mile-per-hour fastball from left field to throw
oh,
somebody out at the
that
plate.
was dude. We were literally sitting up right down the first base line, and he has an absolute cannon. He's a 5-tool player, and a perfect throw, and then a perfect catch and tag.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry again, you guys want to complain about Martin, and I get it. I understand the complaints. I understand the quantifiable numbers that aren't there, but he can't be replaced right now. You are midway through a season. If this team gets hot, you're all going to stop talking about how his bat is a nothing part. I want someone to answer me name how many catchers have made a difference in a World Series.
Right.
Someone tell me. In 2017, our catcher didn't make a difference necessarily Brian McCann hit like 1 home run in the World Series or something like that. I mean, he was not hitting well at all, but his experience and
Brad
his leadership.
Ausmus in the 18-inning game.
Oh, that's not the World Series though,
I
Eric.
know.
Come, that
I
was a
know.
reach.
I
That
know.
was a reach.
I was just trying to think of a catcher that did
You
something.
were
So.
just trying to prove me wrong. Come on, man. You're just being a jerk. It's okay. I love you though, man.
Yeah, Michael Brantley on the Astros scoring 10 runs in 6 innings said that was kind of electric. So, Bregman said on the Astros 10 spot, for the last 2 years, honestly, it's passing the torch to next guy. I think that's one of the first time we've done that this year. That kind of shows what this offense is capable of and what we expect of ourselves and each other. Like on this yesterday's show, I was so shocked at where the Astros ranked in terms of runs scored, and I was like, "Wait, where are they?" And it was all the way down
Well,
20.
no, and that's what I mean, we've I believe I may have covered that on a solo show. I may have talked about those numbers, but yeah, that's been like that for several weeks now. I mean, that has been the talk and the ire of a lot of Astros Nation, with averaging 1 run less per game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And but hey, dude, when this team hits like this, I don't care that the Yankees have almost 50 wins or 60 wins or wherever they're at, right? I don't
Mhm.
care. This team is still better, hands down. This team is better. And I mean, you can't convince me otherwise. Until they beat us in the playoffs, they're not better than us. They can talk smack, they can have great regular seasons, but at the end of the day, we still reign supreme. Period.
All
End of
right.
story.
This was the first time that two managers that have already won 2,000 plus games have
Oh,
faced
yeah.
off since Tony Russa faced Bobby Cox in the with the Braves on September 2010. So this doesn't happen a lot. So this was a epic matchup. I'm surprised we didn't catch this before. And with this win, Dusty Baker and La Russa actually have a identical winning percentage at 536 at this moment. So how do you like them apples? So uh,
Exactly.
of course, La Russa has quite a few more wins than Baker does, but he's been doing it for a little bit longer. He didn't. Well, I guess they did both take a little bit of retirement, but I think Baker took a little bit longer retirement. But overall, I think that this was just a game that everybody needed. Bregman for sure needed that home run. This was his first home run since May 23rd. That's a long
And
time.
that is, and that was Brantley's first grand slam since 2018 when he was with Cleveland. They also went back to back in this game. That's something we haven't seen a lot of. I mean, we all know the famous bobblehead set that's up there somewhere, the back to back Bregman and Alvarez. But this team has no reason to doubt where its place is in the American League, which is top two, top three. Period. They're not any further down than that. Did you see the MLB power rankings for hitters? Yordan Alvarez is number 2, finally getting some love. But you know what's funny is he wasn't on the graphic, so I had to Photoshop him into the graphic, and I posted it on the MLB Twitter
I'm
page.
sure MLB is going to totally use your edit
Well,
there.
it's a fully licensed picture that I have legal ability to post. So they just got it wrong. That's okay. I will expose their bias against our team every freaking time I get a chance.
All right, so if you're looking at the White Sox, one thing they do well is they do hit left-handed pitchers pretty well, and they did hit Framber Valdez pretty good, but
Oh no, he was getting hit. I mean,
yeah,
I was worried, Eric. I was glad it was only 3 runs that they scored, because I was like, because he had 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. So you're like,
yes,
okay, he's cruising, right? He's cruising. Framber is going to get 10 strikeouts. He's going to allow 1 run. Boom, 3-run bomb. You're like, okay, it's there go the wheels. The wheels are falling off. It's going to go off the rails, and it didn't happen.
right. So the White Sox have the highest batting average and OPS against left-handed pitching this season. So for the Astros for Framber Valdez to limit him to only 3 runs, 8 hits, he did have 7 strikeouts. For the first couple of innings, he looked dominant. I mean, he did give up 1 hit, but he looked like he was going to keep them off their toes, just on their toes all game, and just like strike them out left and right. But then the third inning, I think it was the third inning, yeah, with that 3-run homer. But then he kind of settled back down, and he did give up some hits here and there. But overall, Valdez did good. I think that that Dusty, and how many pitches? It was at 91 pitches in a game where you have that big a lead. You're not going to stretch out Valdez in that situation. So that's why Stanek came in, and then you had Seth Martinez come in, and then you had Brian Abreu come in, and Oh my gosh, the way the Apple broadcast team was raving over Brian Abreu's StatCast, baseball savant stats, I was like, they would think that this was Mariano Rivera out there pitching.
Really?
Yes,
See, I obviously wasn't watching the game because I was there.
but
Um,
but that was just hysterical. But he went out there and struck out the three batters he faced. So I guess he proved them right.
Dude,
But
he struck out the side. Here's the thing, Eric. Remember, my three keys was a starter has to go at least 6 innings. Framber Valdez did that. They have to score multiple runs in the first few innings. Now they waited until they scored multiple runs in the first 2 innings. They waited till the sixth to explode with the 10 spot, which is the most they've put in one inning all year,
right,
outside of the sixth spot they had recently against the Rangers. But for Stanek to come in and get 2 strikeouts, for Seth Martinez, like you said, to come in, for Brian Abreu, and Brian Abreu is one of these guys that there are a lot of mixed reviews about him. There are people that when you talk to about Astros baseball, they don't like him, they don't trust him, right? All they remember are the walks. They remember maybe the hits or the runs he's given up. But all in all, overall, his body of work, he's done very good. And there's a reason why Strami was very high on this guy. There's a reason why he hasn't been traded, because this guy's got a lot of potential. And when you let a pitcher develop, when you let a pitcher struggle and he's got the stuff and you ride that horse, eventually that horse gets used to and understands what the race is about. And if someone like Brian Abreu can figure it out, can you imagine in the playoffs, you're going to hear names like Matan, Stanek, Abreu, Montero, those guys, those are going to be the
Hunter
heroes of the
Brown.
game. Well, he hasn't made it yet. So let's
No,
hold the
he's
phone on.
coming up. He's going to be dominating the
He's
Yankees.
only going to come up if he's a starter. He's not going to come in as a reliever. They're not going to do that to him. He's
I
stretched out
bet
as a
you they
starter.
will.
I bet you they don't. How much you want to bet?
I don't have money to bet. So
Okay. Hey, I'll buy you a pair of Jeff Bagwell's batting gloves if he comes up and does anything other than start, if he comes in relief. How's
okay.
that? Okay.
Uh,
I got you. I may get them for you anyways for Christmas. So
Alrighty. So
sue me. Don't sue
the
me.
Astros currently have a 9-game lead over the Rangers right now. The Rangers they're facing the Tigers at the moment. And so tomorrow's game or today's game, depending on when you're listening to this, it's going to be Justin Verlander. The Tigers are definitely going to be scared facing Justin Verlander, especially after getting beat 13-3. And Johnny Cueto is going to be on the mound. So this would be an interesting matchup. And with Verlander pitching today, Garrett Cole is lined up to pitch on Monday. That means likely we will not see a Verlander and Cole matchup.
Dang it. I guess we
I
have to wait until the ALCS, right, Eric?
yes.
Now, here's what we hope. If the Rangers, oops, I called the Yankees the Rangers. That's awesome. If the Yankees go on the road, like our fans are saying on the chat, if the Yankees go on the road and get exposed a little bit, because they have a lot of really good wins at home. They hit the ball better at home. They do that in the playoffs too. It's kind of odd how they do that. I'm still a little fishy, a little leery about the Yankees' ability to win on the road. But if they slow down a little bit and the Astros can catch them and the Astros can leapfrog them in record, Eric, then we have home field advantage. Now, we've never played them where they've had home field advantage. And so I think it's important that this team get hot, stay hot for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I don't know when Cole's starting, but he's going to start on Saturday against the Astros. That's when he's lined up to start. So,
Oh, nice.
and Verlander's going to start on Friday. So either way, it doesn't matter. So I know that the kid in Crawford boxes, I'm not going to say his actual name, but he was asking about McCullers. McCullers did go out and throw a 25 bullpen. He threw fastballs, changeups, cutters. The velocity was where he wanted to be. And everything's progressing very well. And he says velocity was up to 91 a few times today. He threw 26 to 27 pitches. The sinker, changeup, and cutter. and it was kind of a controlled live batting practice. So that's a big step for him. And also, James Click said that Jake Odorizzi did a high intensity reactive PFP today. He felt really good, better than he expected. We might do one more session of that, and then we might be talking about the next steps, perhaps potentially doing a rehab start.
So
Or
yeah,
two.
so these guys are going to have rehab starts before they touch. So you won't see either one of these guys in New York, whether it's the Mets or the Yankees.
No.
Now, when the Yankees come to town for their series, maybe you see them. Maybe they're there in July,
Right.
but here's the thing. You don't want to rush them back because especially the year Odorizzi was having, you want to make sure that he's 100% because not only is it detrimental to the team, it's detrimental to your assets, which is your pitcher. And then Lance McCullers Jr., you've got to handle him with kids' gloves because he
Right.
has a litany of injuries and he throws so violently. I mean, the amount of torque he puts on his elbow and his shoulder when he throws because he's balls to the wall. He is always going hard when he's on the mound.
Yeah.
So he's going to be smart, though. The thing McCullers has in his corner is he's been down this road before. And you hate to say that about a player that he knows how to deal with injuries, but he does. And hopefully that's an advantage for them down the road. I think there'll be weapons for sure. Odorizzi might be one of those unsung heroes that we end up talking about at the end of
Right.
the year.
And out on the Apple broadcast today, they had McCullers on, and they were talking to him for a little bit. And they said the guy was like, I think it was Chris Young. He was like, "So have you broke out your curveball yet, Lance?" And he was like, "No, I haven't been able to break him out yet. I'm taking it baby steps. We're just working on building up my velocity right now, and I'm doing that right now." So yeah, that's what he basically said. He's throwing with. He's not throwing a movement yet. So that's what he said on the Apple broadcast. But you would think that they would know that before they asked the question, but whatever. So other than that, it was a great game overall. The Astros, they kind of shut up a lot of people, especially a lot of people who have been down on Bregman. Now, will Bregman do this forever? Who knows? I think this is a good start for him. Like before this game, he was even starting to show signs of hitting the ball hard.
He's been hitting the ball more level. And he even said on the broadcast with Bagwell, he said I got under on my second at bat when I popped out. He goes I got under the ball and I knew it the second the ball hit the bat. Right before he hit that, I held my phone up. I actually put it on Twitter and I looked at my son. I said, Brady's going to take the ball deep. And boom, I started filming. He hit that 2-run home run, and I was like, I freaking called that crap. And so, that's always fun. The last game we were at, my son called a Yordan Alvarez home run. Of course, calling is like it maybe just happens that way, but it makes baseball more fun, dude. The stadium was packed. It was an electric atmosphere. I mean, it felt like a playoff game, Eric. And I haven't felt that in a lot of home games this year where they haven't really scored a whole lot of runs. Like I felt like that when Pena had his first career walk-off. I felt like it was a playoff game, but that feeling is great. And not only do the fans feel it, but the players feel it and they take it to heart. What a motivator. And I think tomorrow you're going to see, Eric, the Astros come out the day after scoring a lot of runs. I actually think they put up 5 or 6 runs tomorrow because usually they fall flat the next day. Mark my words, they score between 6 and 10 runs tomorrow and defeat the White Sox in game 2 with Justin Verlander.
Bregman said that on Yordan Alvarez's throw to the plate, he said, "Oh, that was awesome. That might have been one of the best throws I've ever seen him make." And I have to agree. I mean, it just looked like it was just a soft toss. He's so strong. It just looked like he barely made any movement. He's just so good.
Well, because
And
you see the guys from the center field, the smaller frame guys, or if you remember Jim Edmonds, when they throw it really hard, they'll literally throw and like tumble, like throwing
right.
their whole body into it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to do that because he is a mountain of a man.
Right. So, anything else before we wrap up? Great game. Dusty Baker continues to do everything right. Sort of recently, but anything else?
I just want to say happy Father's Day to everyone out there
Oh
this
yeah.
weekend. I really hope that if you have time to spend time with your kids, do it. They're only young once. Mine aren't young anymore or that young, and I just got to spend some quality time with my son tonight at the baseball game. It meant a lot to me. I'm going to be a grandfather soon, so I'm excited about that. But happy Father's Day to all the dads. You are so big in your kid's life. And even if you're not the father of a kid that you helped raise, whether you're an uncle or a cousin or a mentor, that means just as much. And if you take that fatherly role in a kid's life, bless you for that. And thank y'all for supporting us here at Locked On Astros.
Yeah, and happy Father's Day to my dad. I went to dinner with him today because I'm going to church camp with my son for a week, so that's why I won't be doing Locked On Astros next week. Be spend some quality time with him. So yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and hope you have a good one. Hopefully the Astros can deliver another victory, but I feel a good thing coming with Justin Verlander on the mound. Good things seem to happen with him. So for the last time for this week, this is Eric Huysman on the Locked On Astros podcast. Go Stros, and we'll see you next week.